Speedrunner, and with me I have Skoagogo.
Hello, I'm also a Pokemon speedrunner.
Yes, today we'll be carrying you through Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Any %. So I think we can go ahead and get started. We have an RNG manipulation that we're going to start with. So we're going to set our DS clock to a specific date and time. And I don't know how I'll be counting this down because I'm starting from -8. That'll be interesting, but I'll try. All right, so we're going to set the time. Wait, no, that's not how I want to do that. Try that again. Here we go, and 3, 2, 1, start.
Yeah, so in many ways, this is quite possibly the most difficult part of the run.
Yes.
Basically, what's going on here is, as you saw, Rubentus set the DS clock, the date and time, to a specific time and then entered on a specific second. He's now going to go through the intro and he will find himself at a TV screen. You will see him pause at the TV screen, and I'll go quiet during that period because he has to time an A press. It's a 1-frame window at 30 FPS, and getting that correct will put him on the correct RNG seed. There is a backup here that is prepared if he doesn't miss it, but just for the showcase of this, this is what you would see runners do if you were watching resets and whatnot. Rubentus has chosen the girl, which we'll explain that later whenever the difference is showcased, and named both himself and the Rival 1 character. That's just because whenever the text is scrolling, one character obviously is quicker every single time, as opposed to displaying like a full name. So I'll be quiet now for the moment of truth.
All right, that felt good, I think. So we'll see if we hit the right RNG seed. We check in the trainer ID. And there it is.
Love to see it. Okay, now setting options. Setting the options in this run is actually ever so slightly different to setting options in other runs. Because you won't be catching any Pokemon in this run, you don't actually have to change the battle style from shift to set or whatever way around it is. I think that's right.
Yeah.
So obviously setting your text speed to faster, turning off battle animations, and the last option you saw there was L = A. That basically just allows you to have an extra button to mash through text with.
Yes, this button here.
Yes,
very nice
that button. It is a lifesaver in Gen 4, which is a feature that is sorely missed in Gen 5 runs.
Absolutely.
There is an additional way to check the RNG seed. If you're watching top runners, you will more than likely not see them check the trainer ID. The other way to check is by the overworld NPCs. They will always move in the exact same way if you're on the seed that you expect to be on.
So in Generation 4, the main RNG in the game is quite easy to control. It's very predictable, and in a lot of areas it's pretty trivial to keep the manipulation up.
Yeah, it basically falls into the category of, if you always move in the same way and do the same things, you will always get the same outcomes.
Yeah, compared to a lot of other games, RNG moves pretty slowly.
Yeah. There are two types of RNG that are quite notable in this. There is the primary RNG, which is just the overworld, as we've just explained, and then there's also battle RNG, which is very, very different in Diamond and Pearl by comparison to Platinum and Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
It's quite crazy.
It is quite crazy. So in these games, the battle RNG advances every single frame in battle. That's not the case in Platinum and Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And for that reason, you can do things like manipulate catches off of save and quits. In Heart Gold to Silver's case, you can actually manipulate fights as well. You can do it in Platinum as well. It's only really necessary in Heart Gold to Silver. and it also allows you to manipulate Pokerus, which none of which you can really do with any degree of success. There's been a lot of research into things like Pokerus, and particularly this Starly. This Starly is a big barrier for top runs.
Yeah.
Because
of Growl.
Because of Growl. Because the RNG is advancing every single frame, obviously it's like impossible to control, and the AI in Diamond and Pearl is completely random.
Yep.
For every trainer in the game. So the Wild Starly and Cynthia have the exact same AI.
They won't use useless moves, but yeah, they will just pick randomly.
The only difference is that double battles have slightly smarter AI, but I'm not prepared to say it's good because it is also very, very stupid.
Yeah, stupid is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So we got a Chimchar right now, and this Chimchar is quite good. It's not perfect, but it's very good. It has, I don't know the IVs, but it has, it's a naive nature, so it's plus speed and minus special defense. Special defense is very not important in this run, but speed is very important.
Yeah, I actually have the IVs in front of me. Do you want me to read them out?
Yeah, sure.
29 HP, 31 attack, 24 defense, 30 special attack, 15 special defense, and 31 speed. So yeah, the special defense stat is really not that important for this.
Yeah, you only take a handful of special attacks in the run, so it's by far the least important stat that you have.
And I actually cannot think of any off the top of my head. I think the only one I can think of is like Magical Leaf off of Roserade, and that's like the only one.
Yeah, there's hidden power from the Abras.
Oh, that's right.
And probably Gust from Beautifly. If you take a hit from that.
If you're really, really unlucky, you will get that. So, congratulations on being able to run.
Yeah.
It's a big milestone for this game. So, obviously, all the movement here that's being done is specifically to avoid encounters. Some of it looks really goofy and really unoptimal, but it is all being done for a reason.
Yes.
Manipulation in this category can be carried from the beginning the whole way through to the end of Eterna Forest, about 40 minutes in. All being well, there are some really, really tricky segments of movement scattered throughout this run. I believe you are going for the full thing, Rubentus?
Yes, I did get it, all of it, earlier today, so hopefully I'll be able to do it.
Happy days. Okay, that's a good omen. And I hope that hasn't jinxed it or anything. Naming Chimchar one character for the exact same reason that you've named yourself and the rival one character as well. Now, the reason that Rubentus has chosen the girl is, as you will now have noticed, the boy is Professor Rowan's assistant. So Lucas actually has less text than Dawn whenever he's going through all his dialogue. It's most noticeable after the catching tutorial, but there are some other really, really small differences in text as well. That is outside of like the minor text differences. That's the only difference. I know a lot of people in the community like to joke that the girl has longer legs, so she runs faster, or whatever. It is just text differences.
Yeah. And the reason why we chose Chimchar is because Piplup kind of struggles, dies a lot, and Chimchar just kind of powers through, and we also have hidden power that we're going to get. Which
for any Turtwig lovers, unfortunately, it is never really considered. Turtwig is my all-time favorite Pokemon, but unfortunately, it is just trash, especially for the beginning. So in the Pokemart here, Rubentus went in and bought potions and a Paralyze Heal. That is the safest shopping you can do. Depending on who you watch, some people don't buy the Paralyze Heal. And really depending on who you watch, some people do a completely different route where they don't enter the mart at all. And that is faster, obviously. Less movement, no load zones. Shopping, especially in Gen 4, is really, really laggy. But only on the English version. For whatever reason, on Japanese, there is no lag in the shop.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's very odd. No idea why. But obviously, that marked skip route is very, 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 very dangerous.
It is brutal. But you'll see later why that route has been theorized and done, because some of the movement that we're going to have to do if we're going to try to keep manipulation the whole way through is not ideal.
Yeah, a lot of it is very, very slow. And there's reason I use the word goofy, because some of it does look really, really silly later on in the run. So again, more specific movement, and above Sand Gem Town, we are going to be taught how to catch a Pokemon. This is important information. Very obviously, I definitely didn't say you don't catch any Pokemon in this run. This is important information. Write it down. It will be on the test later. I'm expecting everyone in chat to be paying as much attention as they possibly can be. Turtwig is useful. Here you go.
Yeah.
I forgot Turtwig. I forgot Turtwig is the catching tutorial poke in this.
And it actually saves time if you mash right here, whenever they use a move. If you don't mash, it takes longer. It's quite strange, but that's the way this game is. This was the first Pokemon game for the DS, so they were definitely not that experienced with the DS platform. So Diamond and Pearl has some questionable decisions that were pretty quickly fixed in Platinum when that released.
Yeah, the difference between the battle engine in Diamond Pearl and the battle engine in Platinum is night and day.
Yeah, you'll see when we get to the first battle pretty soon that it's not the fastest.
Yeah, and it's the big reason that things like crits are so valuable in this run. Not only is it, the run is short, so any amount of time save is really good. But because turns are so long, crits save I think it's twice as much as they do in Gen 5 or something. So that text that Rubentus has just matched through. Gen 4 RNG is kind of weird in that if there is text after a battle, the overworld RNG does continuously advance during the text boxes.
Yeah, and the tutorial counts as a battle.
Yes. So all of that text had to be cleared quickly within a certain frame window. And the reason you reload the route is to keep consistency with your manip. You want to be leaving the route on the exact same RNG frame on every run, basically, so you can keep the intended path through the game consistent.
And this fight is not going particularly well so far.
That was a very nice save as well. Yeah, this fight is very, very, very rough. This is one of the fights that the completely random AI is make or break. It is insane. And it is also one of the interesting things about, skipping the Mart. If Rubentus had skipped the route, or the Mart, no potions, wouldn't have been able to heal that. But however, it does let you get away with things where you see quick attack does 6. If you're on 1, it's never guaranteed to use quick attack. So you can get yourself out of some really unfavorable situations just by dumb luck.
Yeah, so that fight is really tricky because the Starly is the same level as you. So, and it also has the same type attack bonus on quick attack, so it does a lot of damage. So if you don't have a potion, you just, if Tristan plays the name of the trainer, if he plays it correctly, he just wins.
Yeah.
We're at a disadvantage, even with our amazing stats, Chimchar.
So
here we have a much easier fight.
Yeah, this fight's much easier. And going off of after this beat, you level up and you get your first same type attack bonus move, Ember, which is really good.
Yeah,
it's nice to finally have something better. Because this is back in the days where you didn't just get one instantly at level 5 with your starter. You actually had to train it a little bit before you got it. Now, you'll see, I don't know how much this is going to come into play. Chimchar has an ability called Blaze, where if your HP is at 1/3 or below, you will get a damage bonus to all of your fire type moves. It's like an extra 50%, I think it is, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. And that allows you to make, it's less saving turns and more things become ranges and you can save turns.
Yes.
By range, basically it's every time you do damage in this game, the damage formula spits out like 16 values for how much you can do, and you just have to roll a high enough value to kill the opponent.
Just like the Shinx just did.
Yeah.
It did 3.
So Shinx doing
do.
3 is the 1 in 16 high roll. Obviously, that's not as bad as that. A 1 in 16 crit is that's the likelihood for a crit. But yeah, the second beat-off that you saw immediately after you get Ember, if you are in Blaze for that, it's a 50% chance to one-hit KO. So it's a nice thing to have in your back pocket, but of course then you have the wonderful thing of I'm at low HP, one mistimed crit on basically any of these turns while I'm in Blaze, I'm dead.
Yep, it is risky, but this run is one of the shortest Pokemon runs, so there is a lot of risk that you take, knowing that.
Yeah, you have to be quite liberal with your play style in this. You'll see people go a lot more all in this category, as opposed to, obviously in Glitchless it's 3 3/4 hours long. You don't really want to be taking that many risks, but you know, if your run's only 1 hour, then you know, just try again, really.
Yeah. So now we're going to do fights that are completely optional. You do not have to do these Abra fights at all, but we do it to get a TM. 2 fights to get 1 TM, and it's such a short run. So you might be thinking, is that really worth it? The answer is definitely yes.
Yeah, it is unbelievably worth it to get this. And you will maybe be able to guess what the TM is by the Pokemon we're fighting and the move that it is using. But this TM is absolutely insane. Even though, because of the way the battle engine works in this game, it's really, really slow to do 2 extra fights. Having hidden power on your side is just so strong.
Yes.
That like it saves minutes back.
Yeah, this Chimchar has hidden power Grass, and it's only used for 1 fight really, but that fight would just be so much slower without that.
Yeah. You do use it for
Ooh, that's a good crit.
Oh yeah,
Gives me a
critting
lot of
these
HP.
Abras. Critting these Abras is so valuable.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage to you. They do like 1/3 of your health, which is pretty crazy at this point.
It's actually a little bit insane how many of the pokes that you fight this early in this game are like insane heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And we're not even done with the heavy hitters yet either. There's still like 1 more off the top of my head, which is just insanely powerful. Which we will get to later. Teaching hidden power over taunt, because taunt is completely useless in this run. And this is where you're going to see some of that strange movement that I alluded to.
Quite strange, but yeah.
Basically, this guy tells you, oh, you don't have the Poketch. It's a fancy watch that all the trainers have. But you have to go around and answer these questions that the clowns are giving to you. And if you get all 3 of these coupons and bring them back, you get your very own Poketch. Now, you'll see Rubentus running into random civilians in the town. This is intentional. So the way I said where you want to keep your RNG path consistent, you can't consistently talk to these NPCs on the same frame every single time. But the NPCs will always move in the same way, as I said earlier. So if you run into an NPC, they'll always move out of the way at the same point. So even if you're like even if you talk to the NPC like 2 frames later or whatever, it just means you're bonking for 2 less frames and allows you to keep your path consistent.
So I said RNG moves slowly in this game, in Generation 4, but here, because there are so many NPCs, it moves pretty fast.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much required to do to keep Manip. But we did it.
And now you get your first rival battle for this game. This will also feature the first usage of Hidden Power. But this fight is not the reason we get Hidden Power, because this wouldn't be too bad without it.
Yeah, but Hidden Power, helps a lot on this fight. It makes it way faster.
Yeah. Getting Graz, slightly unfortunate there, but at least no quick attack. Yeah.
So I want to say Hidden Power saves around 45 seconds on Piplup here. This one Pokemon alone.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because it would take so many turns to kill us. Ember would be your strongest move, and see how much that does? That would take a while.
Yeah.
But Hidden Power? That's way more.
There you go. That's how much Hidden Power does. Sadly, it doesn't kill in one. But Scratch is actually like the strongest against Piplup unless you receive literally any Groyles. So there's a large amount of variance that could happen in this fight. Obviously, Ember, you have Blaze, you have Burns that could happen. But that's so inconsistent to rely on that it's just not worth doing. So same thing as the catching tutorial, RNG was advancing during those text boxes, and you'll see utilization of running into the NPCs again, just to make your path consistent. Can't always clear the text on the exact same frame every single run. So here you get Rock Smash, and these locations are actually kind of unique, where you can get wild encounters, but there are no NPCs walking around the place. So RNG only actually advances whenever you move. And there's another thing about movement in this game which we actually haven't noted yet. On some text boxes, there is no arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. So unlike some trainers like last text box or whatever, and it was evident with that youngster who takes you to the gym, you can clear some of those text boxes with a direction, and it's also going to happen off of this R put the escape rope into the items pocket. Basically, clearing with a direction allows you to skip what's called a turn frame. Turn frame is just, it's a little turning animation. It wastes like 4 frames or something. But obviously, you want to skip those. But turn frames themselves in locations like grass or in caves actually does advance RNG as well. So if you accidentally don't turn frame off of picking up the escape rope, your RNG manip is probably gone.
Yeah. So we got manip all the way to the end of the mine, which is very good. That means we don't get any encounters before we have the opportunity to buy repels if we want. And we also taught Rock Smash. You might think Rock Smash is a weak move if you know anything about Pokemon, and you would be right, but when we evolve, we're about to gain the fighting type, so it'll be boosted by the same type attack bonus, so it will be a pretty good move that we will use several times. And now we have Rourke, the first gym leader, finally.
It would also be slower to catch like a Bidoof or something to use Rock Smash.
Yeah, you needed to progress.
So if you actually skip the Mart on this new route that I had mentioned, this is one of the biggest run killers. Because you can't heal, you have insanely variable HP to this point. There's like 1 potion you can pick up for Jubilife. So depending on your HP going into this fight, there is sometimes just like a 2 in 3 chance that you just instantly lose. Sometimes it's a 1 in 3.
Yep.
And it's purely dependent on what the next Pokemon that you're about to see, Cranidos, uses. And obviously this this fight is a really, really, really good showcase of just how insanely strong hidden power is. If you didn't have hidden power, the strat is to fight trainers until you evolve, and then use fighting type moves to clear this gym.
Yep. It takes several minutes longer.
Yeah, and especially with this. There you go, Lear. That is the best and fastest outcome that you can get off of Cranidos in this game.
So only really the Tristan fight was pretty bad so far.
Yeah. So this is the heavy hitter poke that I was talking about earlier. Cranidos knows headbutt, which does, I think it's like 19 to like 23 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is an insane amount of HP to do this early in the game. But yeah, hidden power, clears it easily, and that is the first gym badge. And this gym badge will allow you to use Rock Smash outside of your battles.
So we can now progress on the western side, or north of Jubilife. That's where we'll be going next. And we still have manipulation, so we're going to try to keep that going. So normally you would go to the mart here and buy repels, but
who has time for that?
Yeah, we don't.
So there's a really good question in chat there. If you lose RNG minute, can you regain it later on? In basically every instance, no, unless you get what we always joke as a magic realignment.
Yeah.
More often than not, if you mess up movement, your RNG path is just completely off. You just have to start using repels. But obviously you don't want to lose it, but sometimes, you know, we are human. Sometimes mistakes happen. Can't play perfect all the time. So you kind of, in a lot of these categories, you kind of have like fail safes where you do buy repels. You just buy like slightly less and, you know, commit to getting manip to a certain point in the game. Because this one's so short, it's in a unique position where you just skip it altogether.
Yeah. So this fight is pretty easy. It can be slow if Turtwig is an idiot. But after this fight, there's a very important cutscene that controls a lot of how this game is treated with in terms of the RNG manip.
Yeah.
Called the fashion case. The fashion case is very important in the run, even though we don't use it at all, and we would rather not get it. But for years, it was thought that it was impossible to manip past this because there's so many things to consider on that one text box where you receive the fashion case. It's quite intricate.
Yeah, and from a routing perspective, there's also more to think about than just the fashion case text box as well. There is a lot to think about. Like, routing past this point alone can take you like hours just to find
several hours on this cutscene.
Just to find windows where you can take RNG beyond this point. Thankfully, in that fight, Turtwig played ball. It can use Absorb there. Another shining example of the ridiculous AI in this game that it can even consider using Absorb.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Hidden power is useless now. Got rid of it. We've now got Mach Punch. You actually can skip Mach Punch, but from a safety perspective, it is a lot better to have it. So these text boxes, RNG is advancing during them. There are 3 important text boxes. Professor Rowan's last one, the fashion case getting cleared, which I will be quiet for in case you have a timer running.
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay. I'll still be quiet anyway, because this movement stuff is quite difficult.
Yeah, this movement is like some of the hardest in all of Pokemon.
Yeah, and then the last text box overall.
I messed up. Damn.
Yeah. So that point the Rubentus just messed up is probably the second hardest bit of movement in the entire run. basically all this back and forth movement is, like I explained earlier at the catching tutorial, you want to be leaving like the city or the route on the same RNG frame every single time. All that running back and forth is just to get a point in the RNG where the window is large enough that you can realistically exit on the same frame every time. So that it's a lot of searching that goes into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the Fashion Case text box itself is one of the big barriers because it actually advances RNG. So whenever you're routing it, you need to find a window where the value is the same for long enough that you can realistically get it on every run. So these spinner passes are, I guess it's still relatively new that you can consistently get past these lot if you are doing the correct thing, I suppose. Basically, we're approaching these spinners in a certain way. You'll see Rubentus do specific movement leading up to the spinner and then pause. That pause is just to check if the spinner is looking away or not. In all these instances, if the spinner is looking away, the pass is guaranteed. And if the spinner is looking where you need to go, just wait, and then the double turn frame strat. Thank you, Minnow, for revolutionizing Pokemon speedrunning and bringing this into light. Basically, the spinners have a chance of spinning every 16 frames. And if you do that double turn frame and then pause and the spinner isn't looking away, by the time you move into the tile and get away again, there is no possibility that the spinner can look at you.
Yeah. Assuming you did
it requires
correctly.
it requires you to do it
obviously want to skip extra battles because they take a long time in this game.
Yeah. Like a spinner alone is like, even a one poke spinner in this game is like 45-50 seconds.
Yeah, it's really slow.
Whereas like in Platinum or Gen 5, a one poke spinner is like 30 or something. But yeah, these fights are nice and chill. Team Galactic are being mean again. These guys are the evil team of this game. And quite honestly, my favorite evil team. Which is maybe... Yeah, they do. It's maybe an unpopular opinion. I don't know how people feel about Team Galactic. I see a lot of people complain about them, but I love these guys.
Yeah, they're nice and wacky. So we did get the Pecha Berry. It's for safety. You can get poisoned on an upcoming fight, and we really don't want that.
Yeah, the Pecha Berries are. It's another one of those things you can skip and just hope that the random AI is nice to you. But especially for showcases, marathons, or even just wanting to complete runs and get PBs, it's a really nice thing to have in your back pocket. The honey, one of the best items in the game.
It's very helpful in some categories. It allows you to always get the Pokemon you want with RNG manipulation. Makes it a lot easier. But in this game, it's completely useless.
Yeah.
Just takes up backspace. And loses time if you accidentally use it.
We're really good at talking at the exact same time. This is amazing. Yeah, the Valley Windworks actually features the only other potion that you would grab if you skipped the mart, which is wild that you would have 2 healing items for this whole run if you didn't buy them at the beginning.
There is a super potion inside Eterna City, but that's too late. It's not really that useful.
I actually forgot about that super. That's the one behind the gym, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. That Glameow that Rubentus just fought is one of the reasons that Mach Punch is so good. It knows Fake Out, which is a priority move. Mach Punch is also priority because you are faster than the Glameow. You act first. Of course, not guaranteed to use Fake Out. So you can get away with just skipping Mach Punch. It's not the only instance that Mach Punch is useful. This fight here is another huge one.
Yeah, this is probably the most difficult fight in the run.
I would agree, yeah. It's one of the funny fights where if it goes fine, people will be sitting going, huh, why is that bad? Or it could go catastrophically and it'll be a really good showcase.
Hopefully we avoid the really bad move right now. Okay,
that burn is
good.
Really good.
Yeah. Excellent start.
Very, very nice. That Zubat is probably the big reason that this fight is so terrible.
Yeah. And getting a two-shot on it is extremely good.
Yeah. Without
Pretty
the burn,
much all
it's
the
only,
risk of this fight is gone now.
Yeah. It's only 25%, I think, to kill it in 2.
I don't actually know what it is. I know it's not great.
I think it is 25, but obviously then because it knows Leech Life as well, that's kind of skewed a bit. Dang. Unfortunate, did not get the defense drop.
And...
oh my goodness.
Wow.
So, me talking about how Mach Punch is a lifesaver, there you go.
Yeah,
that's why Mach Punch is so good.
Dead. I would be in the grave.
The terrible move we were alluding to is not Supersonic. That's a good shout. It is Toxic.
Yeah.
Which is why the Pecha Berry is so good. So yeah, Mach Punch wins again.
Yep. Very good move.
In the perfect situation, that Rock Smash would have gotten the 50% chance to reduce the defense of Perugly, and Rubenus wouldn't have had to use the Leer and would have just been able to go straight for the Mach Punch and win.
So we have probably the worst trainer that you could possibly hit coming up. I will try my best to avoid hitting him, because it would take over like around 2 minutes to beat him.
Yeah.
I think.
The trainer that's coming up is a 4-poke spinner. I think they are all one-shots, but a 4-poke trainer is just awful. These guys are another big reason that Manip is so powerful in these games. Obviously because the NPCs move the same, spinners are always going to be the same as well, so you can manipulate the passes and you won't have standoffs like that.
Yeah, that took a long time. Usually they are a bit nicer than that, because that was quite ridiculous. And here we have another one of these Pokemon that are just much stronger than most of the other ones that you see.
Yeah.
This is
it's
quite an unexpected one.
Yeah, it is really unexpected.
It's not a Pokemon you think
of
as being strong.
Not only do you have to face off against it, you also get probably the world's worst Pokemon to fight alongside you.
Yeah. That's the reason why
and you're doing
I
the
healed
new strat
so much. Don't do it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is not good.
Wow, Pachirisu and Chansey. Yeah, see, this is why Chansey sucks.
Yeah.
As soon as Chansey takes any damage whatsoever, Soft Boiled comes into its potential moves to use.
I'm going to heal because dying here will be
I do
very,
not blame
very
you.
bad.
Yeah. Because you don't enter any Pokemon centers at any point in this run, if you die here, you are in your starting town and you have to run the whole way back up again.
Can I please get through paralysis? Would be much appreciated. Okay.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna check my HP here because I I'm not sure if I have what I need.
Yeah, you really need to be surviving Gust.
I will go for that. And he missed Egg Bomb. Oh,
Yep.
that's bad.
Oh no.
This is super dicey right now.
How much does Gust do?
20 to 26. I think I just have to hope. Or hope that it doesn't use it? Or hits Chansey? Come on,
I
please.
think hoping for chances. Oh no.
Oh no, this is so bad.
And soft boiled. No chancey.
Yeah, this is the double battle AI is a little bit better, but this is so bad. Do I lose?
I don't know. I have seen it use Gust on Chansey before.
Yeah, I've seen that too, but it's not happening.
It's refusing right now.
Oh my goodness. I'm out of potions.
You know, in a perfect world, had Chansey been pulling its weight, Beautifly would be gone right now.
Yeah. And I am dead.
Just gonna have to risk it.
Yeah.
Oh no, you crit. No,
I
you
got
crit.
charmed. I'm not gonna kill with Mach Punch. I'm gonna try.
Crit, just crit.
Oh, that did absolutely nothing. And
Dang.
I'm dead. Wow. That's incredible. I cannot believe it. My goodness. I healed to full HP, or almost full, before the fight, and I still died.
Yeah, that is a comically bad showcase.
Yeah,
well, comically
that's how
luck.
bad things can go.
Yeah.
So now we begin our long trek back. Should I buy more potions?
I would buy more potions, yeah.
I might need more repels too.
How many repels do you have?
I have 7 left now. That might be enough, yeah.
7. 1 to get you into Juby. 1, 2. No, 7's enough.
Yeah. So,
I just buy a couple of potions in Jubilife.
yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, it's the classic example of Pokemon's an RNG game, and even if you make the right decisions, just sometimes there's absolutely nothing you can do.
Yeah, that is a struggle. I got crit paralyzed on turn 1, which is it cannot possibly go worse. And now I have to pass the optional trainers again.
It's just more showcasing for the people that want to learn the spinner passes.
Yeah. So there I got what's known as quick spun. That's why we pause. She turned my direction, so I have to wait again.
If you just YOLO and you don't bother with these setup things, you would have got seen in that situation. It's very nice reactions.
Let's just take that center here. I probably
Just
should have
in
done
case.
that in the first place when I didn't have Manip. I didn't think of that.
I didn't either.
Just in case it happens again.
It must be the hotfix curse to not do a deathless run of this. Whenever I did this a while back, I died to Mars instead.
Alright, we're back. Hello. Cheryl. I had to think what her name is. Please be less useless this time.
Yeah, hopefully Chansey gets like a turn 1 crit or something on Pachirisu.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, a ridiculous amount of things had to happen exactly the way they did for that loss to occur. It's silly, but we're just gonna get a really good fight this time.
Yeah, here we go.
It'll just go perfect. Watch this.
So we're using Rock Smash for the chance to defense drop. Got it that time. So I would love if Chansey hits Pachirisu on this turn. Nope.
Oh no.
And String Shot. So shout out to Arnie, who routed this fight on like the best options on what you should do. He did a lot of work on this fight specifically.
Chansey just super useless.
Come on, Chansey. Crit Egg Bomb on the Wurmple to save 1 turn. Come on.
Be a
You can
real
do
one.
it. Come on. Oh no, yeah. Got charmed. But crit would have made it outspeed. Alright, so we are, again, slower than the Beautifly. So hopefully no second crit. I don't know if I live from full or from this HP.
I think it would be a range.
Yeah.
A crit. If the min roll's 19, yeah, it would be a range.
Because right now I have... Yeah.
Yeah, it would need a really, really high roll. Now it uses it on Chansey.
Crying.
Wow.
Oh. Well, that's how easy it should be.
Yeah. This game never fails to amaze me.
Yeah. This is Pokemon speedrunning. Sometimes things happen, sometimes they don't happen. And we win the fight after what feels like an eternity.
After only taking 5 damage as well.
Yeah.
It's the insane variance on this fight.
So I don't know how much time lost that was. Around 8 minutes? Somewhere
I
around
don't think
there.
it was quite that.
At
You'll still
least 7.
healthily be underestimate.
Yeah.
Like I said, I died to Mars and mine with the exact same estimate, and I was still under.
Yeah.
So this is another fight that you really want Chansey to pull its weight.
I don't really need that because I have Flame Wheel already.
Oh, you have Flame Wheel right now.
I'll save a few seconds because of my death.
Hey, man, we'll take a few seconds. Crit Egg Bomb and just go
Come
for
on.
like the 1 turn fight. Dang.
No damage at all. The Egg Bomb too.
Yeah, would need to... Even if Chansey crits these Abras, it's not guaranteed to kill them.
Yeah.
It is a range.
Chansey is not good.
We do like Cheryl, though, because she heals us between battles. So
Yeah, that is very helpful.
we just wish Chansey was a bit better, but Cheryl is very, very nice. Actually, no, I retract that. She doesn't give you a reward in this game for getting her through Eternal Forest.
No, she just kind of leaves you. Thank you so much, and she's gone.
Yeah.
And you
In
never see
Platinum,
her
you get
again.
a Sooth Bell.
Who knows where she ends up. So now, this is why we pick Chimchar in particular, because this gym is just almost free.
Yeah, with the other 2 starters, this gym is just horrendous.
So everything in here before the gym leader is a one-shot with Monferno.
And you might see the entire reason you buy the Paralyze Heal in the very, very first shopping menu. Oh, you could have used it on Patchy.
Yeah, I probably could have.
I forgot you had it.
Yeah, that would have been a play. I could have got poisoned. I could have... Some things could have happened that would have still made me die, but it probably would have been the better play. I don't think I played the Patchy fight perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot about the Paralyze Heal. I don't think either of us have bought a Paralyze Heal for quite some time in this game.
No, usually you don't have it. And you really don't want to use it there.
Yeah, that is true.
Even though there is one on the ground that you could pick up if you already used it. So probably should talk about what this category is. So this is any percent. So we are going to use glitches. There's only one glitch that exists that is speedrun useful.
Yeah, the keen eye amongst you will have seen the estimate, and we're getting very, very close to that, and seemingly nothing that strange has happened yet. But don't worry, there's a lot of strange things.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it because it
I
is
used Ember on the wrong Pokemon. Damn.
Watch out, man! That body's lethal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I won't spoil the glitches because it is an amazing first time experience.
Yeah.
We'll explain everything. Don't worry. But I do like seeing people's reactions to this stuff, and especially whenever they haven't seen it before. So for people who have never played Diamond and Pearl and have only played Platinum, they're probably a bit confused looking at this gym because it's completely different in this. Rubentus, do you prefer this version of the gym or the Platinum version?
I prefer the Platinum version, I think.
Really? I prefer this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is a little more fun. The clock is kind of... It just moves. Like it's nothing special.
No, the whole thing with this gym is you fight a trainer and they give you a hint to where the next one's hiding in the maze. And once you fight them all, you can go and fight the gym leader, which is the only real fight in this gym that can be in any way problematic.
Assuming you use the right moves, like I did just now.
Well, that is true. Budu Poison Sting Poison was on the cards, I think.
Well, I do have the Pecha still, I think.
You do, yes.
But it wouldn't be ideal. I can get poisoned again.
That is also true, yeah.
Twice, actually, yeah. There's 2 Pokemon that can poison me.
One of which is on this fight.
Yeah, here we go. Second badge about to be acquired. Dare say I have a pretty good chance at winning this fight.
Yeah, you have an almost non-zero chance of losing. I don't think I've ever seen anyone lose to this. Touch wood.
People have had very bad fights, but
yeah, I'm yet to see anyone ever lose. So this is the first turn in this entire gym that can go wrong.
Yeah. This is a 93.5% chance to one-shot. Alright, good.
Good, because that is a terrible one to miss. That Turtwig knows Reflect, and obviously because you're smashing Flame Whale, it's
that loses you like a minute.
Yeah, it's a really, really slow range to miss.
So, with our perfect speed, Monferno, this is a speed tie. Grass Knot is great.
Grass Knot's the best outcome. And if you just win the speed tie, perfect. That's an insanely good fight.
Yeah, can't go much better than that. And yeah, I lost around 7 minutes on this split. And that's a lot. Probably one of the worst places to die where I died, but we got through it in the end.
Yeah, we move. So that Roserade knows Stun Spore, which is the big reason that you buy the Paralyze Heal. It also knows Poison Sting, but Rubentus still has the Pecha Berry, so that one wouldn't have mattered too much. Depending on like what strats you do, you might not have the Paralyze Heal or the Pecha Berry. So ideally, Roserade only gets one opportunity to do anything to you, like you saw just now. The first turn doesn't really mean anything, obviously, because it's going to get that turn regardless. But winning the second speed tie is really, really crucial.
Yeah, in my PB, I get paralyzed, and I have to go to the mart and buy a para heal.
Which I believe
best
cost record.
What?
I believe that cost record, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yes.
Because that loses about 20 seconds.
Yeah, it happened to me in one of my PBs as well. I think it was my my first ever 57, which also actually cost me to lose record at the time. So
yeah, this game can be very rude to you.
Yeah.
With the random AI. It feels like you get so hard done by when you get the worst outcomes.
Yeah. Especially because all the good outcomes, like, it's just like smooth sailing as well.
Yep.
And it just never seems to happen.
So this building is different from in Platinum. Here you have a bunch of mandatory battles. In Platinum you can go around all of them. But here we have to just stomp some grunts. And they're all free.
Yeah, this Glameow that's coming out also knows Fake Out. Sadly, you don't have Mach Punch at this point. So this is one of those silly places that you can just lose like 7 seconds. Just for no real reason, really.
Yeah.
So depending on how Gardenia goes, sometimes you exit the fight at really, really low HP. If you are in Blaze, you can use Ember on everything in here, with the exception of one Pokemon. Will you be using Ember on Wurmples, or will you be going for Cut?
I will be using Cut, because I do not have Ember anymore.
Oh yeah, Flame Wheel is what I meant, my bad.
Yeah. But I could use Flame Wheel too, but I want to save some time back.
Yeah, so Cut is obviously faster because less text just for the move. There's no super effective text. Downside is it can miss, and the first Wurmple, actually, well, it wouldn't be in this instance because you were already level 23.
Yeah.
But ordinarily, the first Wurmple is, I think it's like a 15 and 16 range.
It's 13 and 16. I missed it.
13 and 16.
Yeah, I missed it yesterday.
Oh. But once you're level 23, it's completely guaranteed.
Yeah. It's really not worth it to use Cut, but I will be doing it.
I thought it was 15 and 16. I'm going to amend my strategies now that I know it's 13 and 16. I've gone for years thinking it was 15.
Yeah, I missed it, and I was like, I want to know what this is.
Yeah,
I have to know the
I
answer.
thankfully have never missed it, I think. And now I'm never going to, because I'm going to stop going for it now.
Can cut the second one. That one's fine.
Yeah, that one's fine, as long as you don't miss. But just don't miss.
True. I think one of the runners of this game that recently got a 57 missed Cut on that Wurmple
Bouncy.
in his PB.
I think it was Bouncy.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So it's really not worth it to use cut. But that's really the only option you have to save any time in this section before Jupiter.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty much out of your control.
This Kadabra is the one Pokemon that, regardless of your HP, you have to Flame Wheel. Ablaze Ember just doesn't kill it, sadly.
Yeah, Kadabra is very frail, but has good special defense, so...
I've actually never been in a position where I've been in Blaze on this split, have you?
Yeah, you pretty much never are. I have never.
You have to get like a truly horrendous Gardenia, I think, to be in Blaze. Now, Blaze is sick, don't get me wrong. Like, Blaze is really, really good on this split, particularly for this next fight, which is Jupiter, the next Team Galactic commander.
Blaze is actually risky on this fight because Skuntank is not a guaranteed KO. If you have Blaze, it's only a 77% chance.
However, this Zubat is guaranteed.
Yeah, now that I'm level 24, I cannot miss this range.
15 and 16 again, otherwise. It's another one of the ones that is horrendous to miss.
So this Skuntank, random AI strikes again. It can do whatever it wants. And
yeah,
it can be really bad if it uses smoke screen.
Poison gas, that's fine. Still got the Pecha.
And that looks like a good damage roll too, so...
Yeah,
I don't think I'll be not killing this.
Unless you get horrendously unlucky.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
That is the last fight of the run.
Yeah, believe it or not, there are no more battles. So I've seen a lot of people questioning, how does the run end within the next like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Don't look away. It happens pretty quickly.
Yeah. If I do it well, it will be very fast.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've never seen this before, you're going to be very confused and you're going to love it. This is one of the best things. This is why Gen 4 is so cool. Because this is the only real glitch.
To Eterna City, we cannot leave until we get the Explorer kit. It's quite weird that they made you have to get it, but we have to go here.
It's on like top 5 tourist destinations. Explorer kit house.
And this guy gets very sad when you say no to him.
So lonely sometimes.
Finally, we get the bicycle, the fabled bicycle. And now, it all starts going on. I have to say yes. Oh my god. Here we go. Now, this time, for sure. I was going to save before this, but I forgot. Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that was still pretty clean. So even if you did theoretically get Manip the whole way to this point, you still would have to repel here. There just isn't like a string of RNG frames that you would get through there without any encounters. Lovely stuff.
There we go. And we actually have to save. It's a bit strange, but that's what we have to do.
This save and quit is necessary. Basically, doing this, you're refreshing the graphics in the overworld, which you can only do if there's a save file present. If you do this without a save file, the game just crashes. whenever you try and open the bag or whatever. Opening things like the bag, Pokemon menu, the Pokedex, all refresh graphics, but in this instance, save and quit is necessary. So that glitch that you've just witnessed was called tweaking. Basically, the Gen 4 games are made up in grids of 32 by 32, I guess, like segments, and they're separated into 4 smaller, like 16 by 16s. So where these grids intersect, there are things called load lines. Basically, it just determines what segments of the game is loaded. If you go over them in specific speeds and specific patterns, you can distort how the game is generated and allows you to bypass events or some areas completely. The one on Cycling Road, those 3 tweaks were done purely to skip a cutscene with Lucas. And then that last one in Jubilife was to get into the Poketch building and out into the void, where you can maneuver yourself in a specific way to get yourself to the ending of the game, which is the Hall of Fame. They weren't expecting us this early, so all the lights are off. Can't see anything, but we are here.
And Cynthia and Professor are also here.
Yeah, like I said, lights are off. It's just very difficult to see.
And we have beaten the game. Just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
That's time.
So
that
yeah, like I
Diamond
said,
and Pearl in 1 minute and 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, all goes off at the very end.
Yeah, it's a really cool glitch. Yeah. It's so much fun to do, as the execution is very satisfying when you do get it.
Yeah. And you do have to be quite careful with it as well.
Yeah.
It's very easy to crash your game on some of those.
Yeah, I probably should have saved. I really forgot to save before everything went off on Cycling Road.
It's fine. The only one that you can realistically crash in this run is the Jubilife tweak. It's quite difficult to crash any of the others. Yeah. Not to say impossible.
Yeah, I did do it in practice.
Yeah, I think I've done it once before, but you have to move in a really bizarre way to get it to crash.
Yeah. But yeah, that's this game. Huge thanks to GDQ for having me. This was a lot of fun, even despite the horrific death. But that's we have to take it. It happened.
I mean, it comes with the Pokemon speedrunning, right? Like sometimes you're just gonna get wrecked, and there's not much you can do about it.
No matter how much you prepare, there's always the one turn where everything goes wrong.
Go ahead.
It's a perfect way to showcase the series, like things like showcases and marathons and whatnot. You know, it's always those funky things that happen during those events, but you know, it's a good way to showcase. It sets viewers' expectations. You know,
No, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
You watch full runs and things go smoothly or whatever, but you know, almost like a lot of the highlights and whatnot for Pokemon are sadly when things go horribly wrong. But
yeah, that's the funniest part.
Yeah.
It also just kind of gives you like a good way to see how to recover, I guess. Like you don't necessarily want to kill a run sometimes, so it's like, okay, well, this is how we're gonna fix it.
Yeah, Pokemon runs are a lot about adaptability and knowing what to do in case this happens. There's a lot of things that can happen, and yeah, you kind of show your skill by dealing with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for me. I was honored to be part of this. It was really, really cool.
And thank you so much for being on. You know, it's awesome to have showcases like this, and you did a great job, all things considered. I mean, it was out of your control, so like you did a good job recovering. Y'all did great. Thank you so much. And I love that glitch at the end.
Yeah,
I will never get enough of that glitch. That being said, we do have another Pokemon game coming up afterwards, so we are going to take a quick break while we get ready for that. Just before the break, though, a quick reminder. If you missed out on SGDQ 2023, be sure to check out the VODs on YouTube over at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And there was a little bit of delay in the VODs, but they should all be up by the end of the night. They're trickling out slowly over the next few hours, and they should all be up by tonight. So you can catch all the final runs if you missed it. And with that said, we will be right back after a quick break.